And we are live. It's the top of the hour. Hello, one and all, and welcome to our mostly weekly live stream. Steve Dotto here. How the heck y'all doing this fine day? Here at this channel, we try and make technology easy so that you can do more with it. And hello, Atul. How are you doing? So we've got how many people? We've got quite a few people already in the room. Let me know where you're in from. Say hi. And it's going to be an Ask Me Anything. Man, it's been a busy week here at dottotech. It was a good week for us because we this week we did our webinar Wednesday, our weekly regular webinar, was a bit different. We charged for the webinar this week, and we're actually redoing the webinar again tomorrow, but it was on how to make money on YouTube. So I've been diving deep and just kind of focused all week on how you make money on this darn platform. It's been an enjoyable discovery. And in the middle of the week, I had my first video ever go over 1 million views, which is a lot of. It's a funny thing, you'd think it was my best video, and it wasn't. It was just an okay video, but for some reason it catches the algorithm, it gets promoted, and it went over 1 million views. So there we go. And I see you guys all saying hello, Steve. Hello, Stephen from London, where, oh, man, it's been a busy week in London for you guys between the sadness of the World Cup and the distraction of the visit from the U.S. president. I imagine and oh my gosh, in London, did you see, Stephen, did you go outside and see the RAF, the 100th anniversary of the RAF? My gosh, the videos that I saw of the flyovers, it had to be just a spectacular day in London with all of the different RAF planes doing these low flyovers over the city. It had to be just, oh man, I would have loved to have been there. That would have been something. I bet you guys had just a great time. So welcome here. Integral Doc, watching from Thailand. How are you doing, Doc? And a patron Dave from Ashcroft. A special welcome to all of our patrons. Dave, a big shout out to you. dottotech is supported through the generosity of a lot of our viewers on Patreon. And so if you're interested in finding what perks are available, drop by our Patreon page, have a look. We have Randy in Half Moon Bay. How the heck are you, Randy? Good to see you. Randy's a real educational technology dude. Knows more about educational technology than almost anybody I know. Phyllis, how are you doing? Did I schedule the same time as the weekly Social Media Examiner live show? Did I do that? I have 2 YouTube tabs open and switching back and forth. Yeah, I probably should have paid attention to who else is broadcasting at this time. But really, this live show has to work in my schedule. It has to kind of fit my schedule. And I will give you guys a scheduling update. At 10:30, our house cleaner arrives. Now, I've left a note on the door for her to just come in. But yonder dog, you can't really see him. But that dog right there, he is going to go ape at about 10:30. So you just be prepared as Farley jumps up to see what's going on downstairs and defends house and hearth. It'll be good. It'll be enjoyable. It'll be loud. It'll probably scare the crap out of me when it does happen. Hey, Friar Wade, how the heck are you? Karen from BBC Roof, enjoying the videos. I'm glad. So what do you folks want to talk about? What do you have questions about? As I say, I've been diving deep and really concentrating on the entire concept of revenue from YouTube. And if you are interested, we've got a webinar tomorrow. We're charging for this particular webinar. We don't charge for a lot of our webinars, but this one here we are charging for. I just dropped a link in where I share 7 models of making money on YouTube. But not only do I share this, the thing that's a little bit different with this webinar, and what I think really makes it worthwhile, is I dive right into how much money you can actually expect to earn. And I'm not just the pie-in-the-sky numbers that you get from the people that are promoting their courses and that. I'm not selling anything out of the back end of this particular webinar because we're charging for it. But real metrics of what my experience is and what you can expect with the number of subscribers that we have and the amount of engagement we have and the type of audience that we have and the models and the revenue models that I do actively participate in. I share with you the real revenue numbers, which I think is eye-opening because, bottom line, I think YouTube is just such a phenomenal place to build your business. But you have to go in with eyes wide open. You can't go in thinking, oh, if I start in 6 months from now, I'll be able to support my family on my YouTube channel. I think it's just wrong-headed, obviously. So what metrics do you have to hit to earn X, Y, Z dollars. So we try and give you a much better idea of that. And every YouTube content creator creates their content differently and uses it differently. So all of our business models are going to be slightly different. So you have to kind of take what others are earning and then extrapolate it against your own. But don't listen to the hype. Look for the real numbers. That's important. All right, Steve, greetings from Mexico. I really like my channel. Thank you. Hector, how are you? And Jerry, good afternoon from St. Louis, Illinois. Good. And What's Update says, how are you feeling about IGTV as an opportunity to grow your reach? Does it have legs? I do think so. IGTV, have you been watching a lot yourself? I've been watching a fair bit. Some people are doing a really good job on IGTV. Some people not so good a job. Do you tend to watch a few seconds and make a really quick decision and then switch channels? I think IGTV, Instagram has got a really unique space because there's so much intimacy in the relationships on Instagram that they've captured that level of connection. The challenge that they're going to have is if they're trying to go head to head with YouTube, which we see, and certainly the pundits are saying, then they're also going to go head to head with Facebook video. So if we look at those different platforms, how do you determine which one to create your content for? And here's the area that I think both Instagram TV and Facebook video have a challenge of. And by the way, before I get into this, that is going to be our topic for this week's Webinar Wednesday coming up next week. This is a free webinar next week. I'll drop a link in there for that as well. So next week on Wednesday, we're going to be doing Instagram TV. We're going to be looking at the tool, and we're going to be talking about video wars. So I'm going to be talking about a lot of what I'm going to be covering right now in this, but let me tell you what I think. And this is the straight goods. Instagram TV, Facebook TV, or Facebook video, YouTube is only as good as the content creators that are creating for the platform. If there's no great content for you to view, the platform is just hollow. It's just a mechanism. It's got nothing going for it. So that's number one. All of them have to create an appealing environment for you to create content for them. So what does a content creator look for? What does a content creator look for? Well, they look for reach, they look for an opportunity to build their business, and they look for money. That's what content creators look for. What do viewers look for? Viewers look for quality content, and they look for reliability, and they look for relevance. They don't just... The biggest issue with Facebook video is you never ask to see any of the videos that are streaming through your feed. It's interruptive video. It's nothing that you search for. The biggest strength of YouTube is you come with a destination in mind. Very seldom do people just browse through YouTube and see and watch what YouTube serves. They come and they search. Once they've started a search, they're on a path of discovery, and suggested videos and those other things start to become very relevant. But you started out with intent. You come with intent. That's YouTube's biggest strength. Plus, YouTube has revenue mechanisms now attached that allow people like myself to make money, perhaps a living, from the platform. That's what we're going to be talking about in this webinar coming up tomorrow morning. So until IGTV and Facebook video discover how to generate value to the content creators, the real same kind of value that YouTube creates, and they do it they do it from an engagement point of view, but not from a discovery point of view, not from a massive growth point of view. But until they start to deliver that value proposition, they're going to struggle. But where they're mostly going to struggle is until we figure out a way to make money on the platform. At the end of the day, right now, IGTV is a great curiosity. It's a great discovery platform for the content creators to kind of discover what's going on the platform, to kind of figure out the DNA of the platform and what sort of content is going to resonate and how it's going to resonate with your community. And there's this exciting newness to it. We're in a honeymoon phase with it right now. Once that honeymoon phase is through, we need something real to sustain the relationship. And what's real for me is how am I going to make money? Or how is it going to serve me? Is it going to grow my community? Is it going to allow me to engage more solidly with them? Is it going to bind my community to me more firmly? And what's the return on investment for those things? That's where the challenge. And at the end of the day, when you just boil down to technology, the biggest missing element in both IGTV and Facebook is search. How do you find the video that you want to watch? A. B. How do you find the video that you did watch that you want to see again or that you want to refer back to? So right now it's all based on, you know, the people you follow and stuff like that, which is fine. I mean, and there's value, and I do like the intimacy of it, and I like how it riffs off of stories. I like a lot of what it's bringing to the table. But at the end of the day, how's it going to help our relationships? Love to hear what you guys think about that. Sorry, I was pontificating, and so I wasn't reading questions. Steve Antoniak, Antiquac? Are you going to offer a replay of the YouTube webinar for $49.95? So, Steve, what the webinar that I deliver is actually the leading edge of a mini course. So the webinar itself is about an hour, a little over an hour, where I deliver all of the base content, and then everybody that enrolls in that gets access to the replay as well as some supporting content, some additional ancillary content in a Thinkific course. So we actually enroll you in a full course that you can go and you can review anytime, and there's a Q&A ability within there, all that sort of stuff. So it's the live portion of a mini course. The webinar is. So I think there's really good value there. And so we've got additional stuff that we don't have time to deliver if you want to dive deeper in the mini course. So yes, you have the replay, plus you have so much more. I'm really happy with it. I worked hard on this, putting this course together. You know what? The way I positioned, I should have done it in my marketing materials. I wish I had. But this course, How to Make Money on YouTube, is the course that I wish I could have taken 5 years ago when I started on this journey, because it would have given me so much more clarity. I guess it was fun, and it was good for me to be able to learn it and to kind of discover it all myself. But if somebody could have told it all to me that I trusted, that could interpret it for me, that would have been a good thing too. So that's what you're going to get from it. So Gord from Miami, good alternative to Apple Pencil. Is there a good alternative to Apple Pencil? I bought some, but they weren't good enough. The Wacom Bamboo, the Adobe Dash 3 are good, but not Apple Pencil great. I'm not an Apple Pencil user, so I'm the wrong person to ask. But maybe somebody else that's on here will comment and let you know. But I'm not, unfortunately, I'm not that guy. Okay, Friar Wade, do I use any programs like Main Menu, Little Snitch, etc.? How do you clear cookies, cache in Chrome? I don't use any of those filtering tools. All I do is when I need to clear my cache is I go under the Chrome menu and I clear the cache. But I don't, frankly, mind being tracked. It doesn't bother me being tracked. I mean, I think it would be rather disingenuous for somebody that makes their living off of advertising online to try and block others from doing what I'm doing online that way. So I think it would be bad karma. So I don't use ad blockers or any of these tools to manage that. And I'm okay with it because I want to see. I've always got a curiosity of. I love seeing what ads are served to me based on my web wanderings to see how different people are playing and how different people are using tracking pixels, etc. So I get a lot of good research from that. Okay, Atul says, your take on Evernote completing 10 years of late. Any expectations? Your take on Evernote's 10 years, and Evernote's still the baseline tool that I use for all of my long-term storage. It's at the heart of my system. It's almost an operating system for me now. Evernote works at an operating system level, and there's things I like about it, there's things I don't like about it, but I have so much vested in it now, so much invested in Evernote that it's just part of my system. As I was preparing for today's live stream, I jumped into Evernote, grabbed the links for all of the different things that we're going to be talking about, that I'm going to be sharing with you, and I populated it got it ready to post here. And if I have to look for something quickly today as we're going on, I won't be doing a web search. I'll be jumping over to my Evernote account and grabbing it from Evernote. It's right at the heart of my whole system. So What's Update says, even with YouTube being as good at a search engine, a lot of really good channels are hard to find. That's an interesting point. And I wonder what that comes down to. I wonder whether that comes down to the fact that they haven't articulated themselves well enough in SEO, or if there's a shortcoming in the YouTube search engine, or if you're talking about being discovered as opposed to being found. Being discovered means that you're being suggested in video and stuff like that, and that comes down to how well your videos are performing in a variety of other things. That's the holy grail for many YouTube creators. But being found in a search is also really important. So if you've got relevant content and people are watching your videos for the length of time that indicates that the video itself is of value, you should be able to rank in YouTube search if you've done all of your YouTube SEO correctly. It might take a little bit of time to do that, but I believe it's still far easier to rank in YouTube search than it is to rank in Google search. and it's far less, and you're far less subject to the whimsy of the marketplace there. So I still think it's tremendous as far as that goes. All right. Just for you travel. Question. Is there an easy way to edit the sound on a movie made from an Android phone? I ended up with a good video, but background noises, outdoors, wind, and other people talking. Trish, if you're editing it right on your phone, I don't have that answer. If you're not editing on your phone and you bring it onto your computer, then I would highly recommend using, just starting with Audacity, Audicity, Audacity, a free audio editing program, which is awesome sauce. It's a really, really good audio editor. I'm actually starting to work on the beta program for Adobe's new editor that has a lot of audio editing capabilities in it, so I'm kind of excited to see that, and that'll be available in Android. But I don't know of a good Android audio editing option on the phone. I would always try and bring that stuff onto the computer to sweeten the sound. And Audacity is free. If you've got a Creative Cloud license with Adobe, then certainly using Adobe's their sound tool, Audition, would be a great way to go. But if you can't afford that, or if you don't have it, Audacity is what I use for the most part. It's just super. Nay Singh, am I from BC? Yes, I am from BC. I'm in Ladner, BC, as we speak. Where are you, Nav? Where are you? Love to know. Okay, success gifts. Assuming we have good content, what are the best ways to promote your YouTube channel and videos? That's a really good... I think the first and best thing that you can do is you can make sure you follow what YouTube suggests we do as far as launching a video and making sure you've got SEO. So, in no particular, actually, I will do it in order. Most important thing, a great title. Second most important thing, a great thumbnail. Third most important thing, a good description that is packed with all the keywords. Fourth is having all of your tags. Ultimately, if your videos get watched, you have to ultimately be found in search or found in suggested videos. So that's that part of the game. The other thing is don't be shy to promote your video. And I'm not saying spammily promote it, but make sure that you're doing things like cross-posting it to your own blog, sharing that blog in other social platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that you're telling people, hey, I made a great video, come see it. There's a part of us that puts so much effort into the creation of a video for YouTube, and it's so much work. So many people have like all these anxiety about creating the video, and it can be a real... It can be laborious to create a video. So you've done all this hard work and you've posted a video. It seems to most of us that the gods of YouTube should then smile upon us and give us success if we worked so hard on the creation of this product. But it doesn't work that way. It's like a child that's born and now the work begins. You've got to nurture that video, celebrate that video, and shine a light on that video. Ultimately, YouTube will help you out once you reach a certain point. But at the beginning, it's just hard work. And so sharing it on all of your social platforms is probably the number one thing you can do. And then engaging in other communities and kind of getting discovered. If you're in Reddit or some other place, you don't spam your video in. But if you're engaged in a conversation and then somebody says, oh, I've been trying to figure out how to do X, Y, Z, and you do have a video that's relevant, that gives you the opportunity to share it. The other thing that you always have to do is you do have to ask people to subscribe and to share your video. You have to enlist your community. I always say at the back end of most of my videos, I say, please subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so you know when we upload a new video. And increasingly, I'm asking people to share it. I said, if you found this good, share it with others so they can discover dottotech as well. So there's all that is a part of it as well. So those are the kind of the basic things I would do. But nothing is more important than creating good video. Create good video. That's number one. All right, so I'm just going to scroll through and pick out as many of these questions as I can. There's quite a few coming. So Jean-Claude Lepine says, I want to refresh as new my Evernote, but keep my data aside to download it at a later date. Can you make a tutorial on that? I'll think about that. That seems to be fraught with... It might make a good tutorial, but I'm afraid... I'm afraid that will just open me up for a gazillion questions. But I'll tell you right now what to do is look in the export menu in Evernote and export all of your stuff as an Evernote in the Evernote format, and then you can and then download it at a later date. So you want to start with a fresh install but have all of your stuff archived. Don't do that. I'm going to tell you right now, Jean-Claude, don't do that. Take all of your existing stuff and just archive the notebooks and start with fresh notebooks, and then just have your archived notebooks separate. They're still available to you when you need them. You don't have to re-import them, but they're put away, they're tucked away, they're not top of mind, and then just make a whole new set of active notebooks or active notes. Don't bother starting with a clean and fresh install. That would be my recommendation. I think that's actually a good recommendation. Okay, Gail, I want to see what Evernote Spaces for personal users looks like. Any thoughts, news? How much impact do you think it will have for heavy Evernote users? I haven't checked it out yet, but as soon as I do, that is something that I will certainly do a video on. What do you think of it? Have you had a peek at it yet? I haven't yet. Natalie, how are you doing? Do you have a course on doing YouTube SEO, or can you recommend one? Yes, I do have a course on YouTube SEO. It's at the dottotech U site, and it's growing your YouTube channel. Let me find the link for it. Let me see if I got it here. Just hold on a half a second. But if you go to dottotech.thinkific.com, there's a course there on growing your YouTube channel. And what I do there is I take you through the what I call the YouTube launch sequence, how to launch your video on YouTube, what steps to take as you're launching your video, and all of the steps that we do on SEO. And so that covers it pretty well. So we do have that. Nav is in Victoria. Excellent. Good to see you, sir. Glad to have you on board. Okay, Patrick Von Leeuwen says, can desktop Neat Scanner be used to archive documents directly into Evernote without using the Neat software? Or do I have a $300 paperweight? I think, you know who the best place to get best use of the Neat Scanner would be checking out DocuSnap. 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 It's, seeing what my friend Brooks Duncan has. And I'm going to put his name in so you can search for Brooks. As I say, his site is called DocuSnap. I think that there's probably software that you can use on it. I'm not 100% sure what the story is with the Neat Scanner right now. But that's where I would head for that. All right? Okie dokie. Let's see with a madman. Developing a channel that has good content and a following that can become reliable income stream is, shot to pieces every time YouTube does something stupid like putting a lot of good content in the bin. Something that, there is that. So Madman is talking about YouTube is one of the better social media partners to have when compared with Facebook, but they're not an ideal partner. They're an abusive partner at times. YouTube takes a very high-handed approach with its content creators, and not just YouTube, but their revenue partner AdSense also. So one of the things that content creators face when they create content on YouTube is there's always the fear that you're going to get strikes against your channel for copyright infringement or community guideline infringement. And so you can actually be disenfranchised from your channel if you get 3 of these strikes. And so, if somebody makes a claim against you, it doesn't even have to be legitimate. A claim against you will temporarily suspend your channel until you clear the claim. And so it's a bit of a terrifying experience for a lot of YouTube content creators, because essentially, if your entire income is coming from YouTube, you're on rented ground. There can be risk. And I'm hearing about some YouTube content creators who get blindsided by the fact that their AdSense account gets shut down for some reason, and it's very difficult to get these things reinstated. So that is completely legitimate. I don't think that the risk is huge if you're a mainstream creator, the sort of content that we create, that's family-friendly content. But as you get into the vlog, the more edgy stuff, certainly the sort of stuff that Logan Paul has done, which has been very celebrated, those sorts of things you will end up being at risk with. But basically, that's part of our job, is understanding exactly what the rules are and making sure that we are on the right side of those rules. But it is totally legitimate concern. I wouldn't say anything else. Keith is saying Farley a lot. Everybody's saying something about Farley. Farley's just having a big nap there. He's okay. He's doing okay. Farley's doing. Dennis says, notice you play guitar. Any ideas on recording apps or software? I don't know why you think I play guitar. I don't actually play guitar. But I do have a few thoughts about recording apps. What would they be? Well, I would refer you to Audacity, but that's acoustic recording. As far as like MIDI and all of that sort of stuff, that's not my sweet spot at all. So I don't have a great answer for you there. Sorry about that. All right, African leopards. Evernote archiving advice is really good. Just put the old stuff out of sight and start fresh. Yeah, I think that is darned good advice as well. I like it when I give good advice, at least when it resonates for me. So that was for Jean-Claude. Okay, so we've got. I think I've gotten through all your questions. Let me just scroll up and make sure. There was a whole whack of them. Hello from Portland, Upside of Downsizing. I like that name. That's a great name. The Upside of Downsizing. We went through that when we moved houses just last year, at the end of this, in December of this year, last year. The downsizing and simplifying our life. Oh my God, it's like an epiphany. Everything is so much better. All right. Jay says, old dog learning new tricks, trying to learn video editing. Any thoughts about Shortcut? I haven't used Shortcut. I tell you right now, I am some kind of seriously excited about Adobe announcing their Adobe Rush software. Let me tell you what Rush is, so you can, because people are always struggling to come up with the right video editing package. And here's the issue, is you have either a very simplistic package like Apple's iMovie or Movie Maker on Windows. That is a very basic video editing package that doesn't do very much at all. Or you have, oh, there she is. Farley's going to wake up in a minute. Who's there, Farley? There goes Farley. Who's there? All right. Yeah, go see. Is Celine here? Yes, she is. He was pretty calm. Good guard dog. The house is totally safe with him. Where was I? Oh, video editing packages. So you've got either these very simplistic packages, or you've got far more advanced packages like Final Cut Pro on the Mac, or Adobe Premiere Pro, or these super high-end packages. And there was very little in the middle. There was almost nothing in the middle. So most people that were serious about video had to kind of step up and buy these high-end packages, which in a lot of cases are total overkill. What Adobe is doing with Adobe Rush is they're creating a simple desktop editor that has all of the main features you want as far as cutting, jumping, editing, audio, those sorts of things. But they're also making it available on your smartphone, as well as being able to record on your phone or your pad or your tablet, Android and iOS. And all of the editing files, as you kind of do your editing, if you just need simple jump cuts and transitions and some overlay graphics and stuff like that, you're in titles, you're good to go just using that basic tool. But if you need more, then you take the next step up, and when you save your file, it's synced through Creative Cloud, and those files are natively openable. Is that a word? Openable? You can open those files in Premiere Pro. So now you can do speed ramping, you can do all the transitions, you can do the color correction, you can do all of the stuff that the high-end people want. So it's like a gateway drug for the high-end system, but it allows you to do everything you need. This was, I think, the biggest announcement at VidCon, was Adobe Rush, and it's going to be released by the end of summer. They're going to be releasing it. And I've been looking at it, playing around with it, and I am smitten. I think it's going to be an awesome, awesome tool. What are you doing, Farley? He's been pretty good. So I don't know about Shortcut. And right now, if I was getting into video editing, I would be a little bit patient, because I think Adobe Rush is a game changer. And you know Adobe's going to have a successful product. And I think it's going to be a game changer. Absolutely. Corey, what's the best way to syndicate blog content? Is paid content distribution worth it? Any companies to recommend? Corey, I don't do any paid syndication of my blog content, so I am not the best person to ask. And I think that I spend most of my energy promoting my content on YouTube, and my blog is supporting my efforts rather than leading my efforts. So I'm probably not the best person to talk to about that. So I'd be interested in what somebody else has to say, but I don't have a good recommendation for you. Okay, Apple is best for recording. Apple's good for recording, Keith. But I think you can do a great job in Windows or Mac these days. You know, I mean, as far as video recording, if we're talking about, you know, for the screen type cast stuff that I do, I use a tool called ScreenFlow on the Mac for all of the videos that we make on our channel. But I would do just as good a job if I was to use Camtasia, which is available on the Mac or on Windows. So I don't think you'd be able to tell the difference if I was on Windows or Mac doing the videos that we do. As far as audio recording, it really comes down to I mean, there's so many good packages between Cubase and Audition and all these others that it really comes down to the skills and the preference of the audio engineer at that point. But I would say they're both. I wouldn't know how to measure one being better than the other. I think it really comes down to the skill of the person that's doing the audio editing. An African Leopard says, I am the man, enjoy tuning in from Zambia. Well, we enjoy having Zambia tuning in for us here. What do I think of the new MacBook Pro from Gavin? I'm not impressed with the ports, you know, the getting rid of USB and all of that kind of stuff. They're not happy with it. So I'm not super impressed with Apple's hardware direction that they've been going. It seems to force us to make compromises that we probably don't want to make. I'm still using my older MacBook Pro, and I have no intention of changing that for quite some time because I like having all of the ports that it has. So I'm not in love with it. At some point, I'll probably have to change, but I don't think that they've helped us out a lot in that. Some people really like the touch bar and stuff like that. And I mean, they're beautiful computers. I just don't like it when they tell us what we can and can't do that much. Jazz Skills, any tips on chaptering embedded videos? Wistia does it well, but it's pricey and not appropriate for my needs. Thanks. On YouTube, you primarily do playlists, which kind of gives you the same sort of idea. Here's my issue with Wistia, here's my issue with Vimeo and all of the others, is if you're just creating a course and you've got people that come destination viewing where you're actually, you know, either selling a product that you want to gate and want to protect that video, they're great. And they do a good job giving you that measure of control over those videos. But why would you ever host anything that you want to share and that you want to promote in an area that doesn't provide you with the kind of search that YouTube does? So those tools end up being a non-starter for me. I do use Wistia a lot, but I use Wistia because Wistia is the back end. I believe Wistia is the back end for Thinkific, where we host all of our courses. And since I host my courses in Thinkific, then we upload all of our videos through the Thinkific engine, but it's all hosted by Wistia. But that's all gated content that's living within our course modules, and it works great for that. But, you know, anything else, it's YouTube all the way for me, as far as I'm concerned. Next question is Holly Norman Music. Do I have any videos on how to reduce and clean up storage for your Mac? Do you like programs like Clean My Mac? No. No, I don't. Thank you very much for asking that, Holly. And no, I don't like using those tools at all. Apple's got some nice tools that allow you to see, that allows you to clean up your disk yourself that I recommend you do as triage. And that's a really good idea. Let me make a note, break it out the pen. First good upcoming video idea, with all due respect to the Evernote suggestion earlier, is Clean My Mac video. I got that written down now. I think that makes a great idea, great topic for a video, and I'm going to do it. I promise you, next couple of weeks. But no, those tools, I don't like installing something else that manages your disk space. Just you can go through and you can quickly, by using the cleaning tools that are built into the Mac, by using the disk optimization tools, you can go and you can discover where your large files are and what you're not using, and where your temp files are, and you can purge them pretty effectively. So yeah, do it yourself. Yeah, don't rely on somebody else to do that task for you. It's kind of ironic as I sit here and our house cleaner just arrived at my house. We've got somebody else cleaning our house. I think that's a little irony. All right. Marcel Platt says, hello, sir. Will you be offering a webinar on your website? Will you be offering the webinar on your website? Wasn't able to make it Wednesday. Marcel, we're doing it again tomorrow. The webinar on YouTube is being done again tomorrow. And if you signed up for it, you'll get access to all of the replays. So you have no worries as far as that goes. And I'll drop the link in again because it's probably climbed way up. But if But if you did sign up for it, you will receive a notification. Probably on Tuesday, we'll be sending out the notification, the enrollment to everybody into the mini course in Thinkific. Okie dokie. Where are we here? All right, Madman says hit film is free and pretty easy to use and powerful if you dig deeper. So that's for video editing, I imagine, and I respect that. And these are good suggestions. But one thing I will caution you is if you do think that you're going to be starting out at one level and wanting to grow, then again, a product like what we're going to be seeing from Adobe with Rush is going to give you a natural growth path into the professional version, and all of the skills and all of the files and everything that you create is going to carry forward. That really resonates with me. Okay. Try Mosho for absolute simplicity. Thank you. Okay, another good suggestion. I believe that's a Windows app, is it not? Natalie, as someone without a team, which would you recommend as a one-stop storage place for all of my YouTube or blog assets, files, Evernote, Dropbox, or an external drive? Well, Dropbox is so convenient. I don't consider it to be a backup. So if you're talking about a backup, I recommend you use both an online service, and you could use Dropbox in that particular case, but you also have a local hard drive that you back up. So I recommend having your backup in multiple places as far as that's concerned. If you're looking at just expanding your storage space, you can't beat having an external drive. They're super cheap. You just plug them in, and I've got multiple external drives. Once one's filled, I mark it down and we archive it and we store them. So I would recommend that for long-term storage. I would never recommend Evernote for long-term storage of files. It's great for long-term storage of data, of ideas and information that you're going to search for and you're going to look for, but not like backing up your YouTube videos or that sort of stuff. I definitely would not recommend that. So I hope that helps there. Success Gifts. Do we need to be concerned with the GDPR compliant issues with our YouTube channel? I don't think so. GDPR, if you're following good basic practices, you should probably be, already getting pretty comfortable with what's happened with GDPR. We're kind of past that initial panic phase, but YouTube subscription is not. If people are clicking on the subscribe button, they're receiving a notification. I don't think it's a privacy issue, and if it was, it's going to fall on YouTube. So I think that you probably shouldn't need to worry at all about it. So Keith says music ? So you're talking about recording music again. The apps that we talked about are the only ones that I know, and I don't do music recording, so I can't provide you a lot more value there. What's update? They need to fix the keyboard on the MacBook Pro. Apple, they've taken it on the chin as far as their keyboard and those ultra thin keyboards with a very short travel. Yeah, there's been lots of issues with it, and they're having to repair a lot of computers. I've got one. I've got a MacBook Pro, or MacBook, the little 13-inch one. Is it 13-inch? No, yeah, 13-inch, the super light one, and 12-inch. It's a 12-inch one, and the keyboard, it's nip and tuck. It's not the best. Oh, I like this. What's update? Am I enjoying vlogging? Has your perspective changed since starting, and would you recommend it to others? Yes. I have enjoyed vlogging, and everything is changing. When I started the vlog, I really thought the vlog would be very much more complementary topics to the how-to stuff on the channel. But I was having trouble framing the conversation, whereas I was always being led to making it far more personal, far more about some of the things that I'm passionate about in the online life, as opposed to just productivity and technology-related stuff. And so it sort of morphed on its own into a call to action for Gen X and baby boomers to be more engaged and discussing the challenges we face in a digital world with all the changes that we've seen and finding our place in the digital world. And I'm loving having that conversation. But I will tell you this, every time I create a vlog, I'm insecure. I have still insecurities, whatever you vlog. and the views on the vlog are less than our normal videos, but the engagement is much higher, and so it's really rewarding from that perspective. But I always, as I prepare each vlog and as I kind of am doing the work on each one, I'm kind of going, is anybody going to be interested in this? And I always have this little momentary insecurity as I create it, and then when I post it, and then the comments start coming in, it's like, oh, people are interested in that, so I haven't reached the point where I'm cocky about the vlog, but I am loving doing it. Do I recommend it? Absolutely, absolutely. I think we need to. This format is so relevant in our age today that we have to master. That it's just a great way to share concepts, to create support, to create engagement. Yeah, I'm enjoying the vlog way more than I thought I would, but I'm still anxious. I'll be recording later today, vlog for tomorrow, for Sunday, and I'll be anxious. I'm already worried about the topic. All right. Thanks for that question. I liked that question. Paul says, hi, Steve. Do you think the private cloud storage products are worth using, such as Western Digital's cloud boxes? Regards, Paul from Auckland, New Zealand. So I love those like personal web servers that you can put yourself, that if you're a small business and you need access to lots of files and you don't necessarily want to use a Dropbox, I think that they're great tools. I think that they're a little bit more work than using a tool like Dropbox, but you buy it once and then it's paid for. So if you've got really good internet connection, I think that they're terrific tools, and you can use them as media servers and all sorts of other things. I'm not using one myself, but I think that in the right environment, they are awesome. You need to be a little more technical, I think, to manage them and to recognize their value. But yeah, I think that they're worth it. They definitely are. They're good tools. Alan, hey Steve, how are you today? I am peachy. Just peachy. Angela Gonzalez, what can we do for you? Do I have any recommendations on software apps to create GIFs that are publicly available? I tried Giphy, but the GIFs aren't publicly available. It's only available to me when I sign in. No, I don't have a suggestion for that. Maybe somebody does. Don't know. GIF publishing platform. Don't know. Sorry. Does sound like fun, though. Back up your YouTube videos with Google Photos for free. There you go. Great suggestion. What's update? Full of good suggestions. I would give you a thumbs up on that one, too. Can I do that? No. Other people have to do it. Somebody give them a thumbs up. That was a great suggestion. Awesome. Tony, I really wish Windows had a better file management system. Descriptions and tags, like for some file types, yes, but not for all. Third-party software is not integrated with File Explorer. Suggestions. I'm going to recommend you to my buddy again, Brooks Duncan. Brooks has some really good tools as far as how he recommends how you organize your files in Windows and your structure. DocuSnap is the place to go. I wouldn't presume to be able to, because I'm not a Windows user. I'm primarily a Mac guy. But Brooks would be the place I would go, and he'll have some posts on that. He is the man as far as that goes. Did you see the news story that they can't repair MacBooks with broken keys? They're just recycling and trashing them. I know it's not a good situation, is it? WhatsApp date. That's not good. That's not good. Am I ever gonna do Tom Green 99? Am I ever gonna do a video with Linus from Tech Tips? I did. I was on his live show once. I'm gonna boast here a little bit, but Linus of Linus Tech Tips, which is a huge tech YouTube channel, far bigger than our channel. Linus grew up in Vancouver, and he grew up watching my TV show. And when he met me, he was all like, oh, wow, I'm Steve Dotto. And I'm going, oh, wow, it's Linus. And so he was really excited to me, and he said that a lot of what we did kind of inspired him. And as a matter of fact, I think his stepfather was a regular guest on our show, so he had an actual connection to the show in the past. So I'm going to take a little bit of credit for being, kind of one of the people that Linus saw when he was starting. Of course, he's built a wonderful and significant YouTube channel, and he has he's got about 8 or 9 or 10 people now working, and he is just he's balls to the wall, so busy. So maybe someday we'll do a video. I don't think that I resonate with that community per se. You know, Linus and the energy of the Gen Y that he is. There's a certain energy and there's a certain sort of person that resonates on that channel, and I don't think it's somebody with this color, beard, and hair. But I'm sure I'll do one of his live shows again as we kind of do nostalgia and talk about some of the things. Plus, I mean, those guys are so deep in things like power supplies and video cards. They're way beyond me as far as technology goes. I'm very much practical and application based, whereas they're very, you know, mod tech based. So, but very proud of them. They do a great job. It's a wonderful channel, and they've built a really nice and significant following. Phil Harvey. Moshao is an Apple program, but it has gone so popular amount of selfies in the world that it is often hard to find the correct core application. I'll take a look. I haven't even heard of it. So there you go. I will take a look. Thank you. Just to reassure you, Gavin Davies says, your vlog is great and look forward to it every week. Good job. Thank you. It's, you know, speaking as a YouTube content creator, if you're, you know, as you follow the metrics in your channel, here's an interesting tidbit about the vlog. Every time I post a vlog, it gets reasonably good viewership. It gets very high engagement. The number of people that comment on the vlog is higher than any of our videos, but almost every vlog that I create creates a net negative in subscribers. A week or two after the vlog has been posted, it will be minus 18, or not a huge number, but it'll be minus the number of subscribers. So people actually unsubscribe when they're watching the vlog. As opposed to if I was to post something about Google Gmail and it's 2 weeks up, there'll be plus, and it'll be plus hundreds of subscribers. Our subscriber growth comes from those productivity videos, but we lose subscribers with the personal stuff. And so I was really on the horns of a dilemma when I saw that. I was going, maybe I shouldn't be doing these vlogs. But here's my thought. I'll just share my thoughts on that. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I think it's kind of like a cook reducing the sauce. You want a big community. I want the vanity numbers. I want to hit 1 million subscribers. Don't get me wrong. I like the idea of growing my channel for subscribers. In fact, we're going to start doing a series on growing your channel again for YouTube. Like we did to 100,000 subscribers, we're going to do that for 1 million subscribers. So I like that. But I also appreciate that an engaged community that's smaller and more engaged is way more valuable than a large, unengaged community. So even though my vanity says I want more subscribers and I don't like losing those subscribers, I believe the best path is to keep being true to our content and building a more engaged community. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm aiming for. So that's what we're trying for. So we're going to continue to do the vlog, and I'm still going to continue to weep every time I see that my vlog costs me subscribers. But I'm going to appreciate the fact that the people who are viewing the vlog are truly engaged and forming a relationship with me and with my brand. So I think that's where it comes down. I never imagined in my wildest dreams that those sorts of parameters would come in to consideration as I started to build my YouTube channel. It's fascinating. All right, good stuff. The grandfather of tech video guys is me. The grandfather. I had somebody post on my YouTube channel the other day, what a handsome old man. I didn't know what to say. What a handsome old man. There we go. Don't get myself down. I led the way for them. Oh, no, I'm proud of when I see Linus, I got to tell you, I burst with pride. I think that he's done so well, and he's done such a great job. And everybody else that I often get comments from people saying that I gave them I was part of their inspiration for getting, in Canada at least, I was part of their inspiration for getting into the technology world. And those brief encounters that I've had with people that have informed me that they watched my show and it gave them the beginning of their passion for technology, and they followed it as a career. I love those comments. I love those engagements, and so hearing those stories will never get tired for me. And I will never. I view a lot of the Linus videos, and as I say, I'm thrilled with how they've done. So, go to Border Collies says, love my cloud. I have 2 total with 8 online. There you go. Well, that's a good endorsement. Madman. Although your vlogs go off in somewhat random directions sometimes, they're fantastic and really worth watching. Keep them coming. I plan to, but thank you. And we'll keep stretching it. I'm pretty sure now that we've got enough credit with the community that if I go too far off, that if I stray too far, because you will, that they'll pull me back. They'll say, this one isn't that interesting, Steve. We should be concentrating on other things. Hello, Farley. How you doing? Okay, Gail. Steve, do you regularly use a tablet? If so, which one? I use a 9.7-inch iPad Pro, but I hope an iPad Mini 5, but still hope for a Mini 5 to come out. I do use an iPad. I don't use it for a lot of work, but I've always got right next to my computer right here, I've got the iPad Mini that I use for occasionally watching Netflix in bed and testing out different things. I'm not a big, but I've got the, Farley, that's enough. Really, I'm busy. I've got the big iPhone. So it's kind of, that size screen makes a big difference. So the iPhone, I really like the bigger screen. Tom's asking when I became a Mac guy. I was always a Mac guy. Back in the 80s, I was a Mac guy. I started my career doing desktop publishing with Quark Express and Adobe Photoshop and all of those tools. So I was a Mac guy back then. When we did the TV show here in Canada, we always had Apple on our show. But because the preponderance of people then were in Windows, that most of our TV shows we showed Windows. When I started doing the YouTube channel, I got a Mac for home and I started recording my videos on Mac. And I stopped using Windows because I did everything on the Mac because it was better for recording the screencast that I was doing. So probably 5 years ago is kind of when, 6 years ago is when I came back to Mac as opposed to Mac for the first time. What's update? Interesting about the subscriber loss. Do you notice the same thing with live streams? Yes, I do actually. I agree with your about active and engaged community trumps large community. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Yes, these live streams will contract the number of subscribers a little bit. And I suspect that's because I think there's a couple things. I think for the vlogs, people unsubscribe because they say, this isn't relevant. I just want to follow him to learn about Evernote. So I'll find him in search. I don't think we actually lose the people completely, but we lose them as subscribers. I think that the people that we lose with the live stream are going, he's appearing too much in my subscription feed, because we publish now maybe 5 times a week between all of the different video types that we do. And so there's a little bit of, I won't say spammy nature, but just a little bit too much. And they're saying, again, I'm mostly interested in the productivity type stuff, so I can find it when we search. I hope that's the case. I don't have any empirical evidence to say that that is the actual case. Regarding Angela's question, this is from Matthew Norman regarding gifts. Try the site another was like, another, and then I was like, okay, I need spaces. And then I was like, I can't speak on publishing piece. Perhaps you could make a Google site to publish the gifts yourself. Okay, good stuff. Upload loves me, man. I love you too, friend. Good stuff. Randy, got to run. Looking forward to cleaning up my Mac video. Okay, now I'm going to have to do that. Is there a webinar tomorrow? Is there a discount for tomorrow for patrons? Yes, there is, Natalie. If you visit the Patreon page, there's a link there to the discount. So all of our patrons get 50% off on the webinar. So there's a 50% discount on the webinar for tomorrow if you visit the webpage. The Patreon page. We give you the link there. If not, ping us on Patreon, and I will send you the link. And I hope that you join us. That's it. Yeah, I'll give you guys a few seconds more to roll questions in, but we seem to have reached the end of questions. Covered some good topics today. Enjoyed it thoroughly. Just to let you guys know, again, coming up next week, we are going to be, I'll drop the link in one more time, we're going to be talking about IGTV and the video wars. So join us next Wednesday for Webinar Wednesday Live. And tomorrow, if you want to learn how to make money on YouTube, this is a great webinar that I created. I'm going to just say that. But people that took the first, we did this first on Wednesday. We delivered it Wednesday. We had about 100 people in the room. They loved it. There was a great engagement. But this is how you make money on YouTube. and 7 models. And the secret sauce to this webinar is I'm going to share the real numbers. You're going to see really based on my number of subscribers, our audience. I'm going to talk to you about the factors that allow us to make money and give you an idea how much money you can actually earn. So you can enter into it, becoming a content creator with eyes wide open. This is the webinar that I wish I'd had to view when I was starting my YouTube channel. It would have been such a fast track. And not necessarily fast track to success, but it would have stopped me. It would have shed light on the path that I should follow. I will say that about it. So there we go. All right. Do you have a life aside from appearing on our screens? Yes, Blair. I have a very normal life. I go and I work out every day. I walk my dog. I've got a beautiful new wife. I am involved in my kids' life. I love fly fishing. I get out and I do things like that. So I think I've got a pretty good life. We just recently moved into a townhouse in the center of our village where we live here in Vancouver, just outside of Vancouver, and we've got a nice active social life. Yeah, I'm a happy man. I'm a lucky man right now. There we go. All right. Although my online life is very important to me too. Joe says, what are your thoughts on Linux? It's been my daily driver for over a year, and I love it. My Windows PC stays offline, and I only use it for accounting, old-fashioned computing. I could see that. You know, if it wasn't for all of the video stuff that I do, I would have no issue living in Linux, I think, because I live online. You know, as far as that goes, it's Chrome, it's email, it's messaging, it's Facebook, it's YouTube. And you're an active participant in all of that stuff just through the browser. I mean, the web is what counts. The number of monolithic apps that you have to run are very few. And for me, it's just video editing. That's the only, and a little bit of photo editing, I guess. But that's the only reason that I really need a desktop computer at all. And I would be fine, you know, in not only would Linux be okay, I dare say that a Chromebook would be fine for me now. I think that's even the next logical step. So, yeah, I'm definitely down with that. Definitely down with that. The Madman says, great webinar. Thank you. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thanks, Steve. Hope we can catch the show tomorrow. Have a great weekend. Thank you. What's update? Natalie, is there a replay? And there's a replay if we don't attend live tomorrow. Not only is there a replay, Natalie, there's a full mini course that you'll be enrolled in on Tuesday that has some supporting content as well. So yes, the replay will be available to you, but we're housing this, and we're going to continue to sell it afterwards as a mini course. So yes, you'll have access to that content as you go on. Gail, thanks for another enjoyable session. I was storming the castle with you. I thank you for that, and I will make that the final comment. We're just about an hour in. I like to keep these to an hour. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you next week. If you join us for webinar Wednesday, we will do another live stream next Friday or Saturday. I'll decide on that shortly. And if you join us tomorrow for our growing how to make money on YouTube, you are going to enjoy that webinar. I can promise you I'm looking forward to it even as I speak now. Till next time, folks, have fun storming the castle.